ideas and thoughts on that? Okay, listening up.
Is that my view or our views?
The group.
Oh, we all have different ideas.
You could start with yours and pass it to somebody else.
Okay, if I go to a crowd, if my intention is not any crowd, but say leaving the country, I would go to the airport and I'll see everybody. But my intention is to queue up, get my bags checked in, so then I would see through all the other crowd. It wouldn't matter to me anymore. And I just make sure I have my purpose for queuing, and the queue in front of me is the only thing that matters to me.
Mm-hmm. That's right. Sometimes we're very focused on one thing and nothing else is relevant. That's well, a bit of both.
Are we sharing our group ones?
It would be nice if you could share as a group. Yep.
I can just summarise ours because so we had a variety of things that people want or lack in time, hence want more time.
Yep.
Kwans we kind of summarise to getting somewhere. People want to get somewhere.
Yep.
People want money. People want contentment, peace, love. They want a new phone and more space on the train.
Excellent. Yeah.
Do you want to do it? I'm going to do it.
So it's always interesting to think about the money one, because money is only a symbolic thing anyway. It's something that allows us to exchange it for something else. So if these people had money, do you have a sense of what they want it for or what they want to get with it? Okay, can we just have the box back for a sec, Julie?
Sorry. Two levels. First of all, the first thing that came into my head was actually more like peace and contentment. But most people actually don't even know that they want that because they're too busy thinking about something else, which then for me is money. I work in an international financial center. Most people are deal making. That's what they're doing. It's money. So for me, it was almost like, what's the distraction that keeps people from actually thinking about the higher purpose that might make them more content in life? So, but it wasn't kind of like, I mean, you could think about it, how am I going to afford to buy my groceries tonight? It wasn't in that context. It was more like the distraction of something that takes them away from a much deeper meaning.
Thank you. Okay, back to Julie.
So we had quite a long list, and I think that we've got most of the highlights. So pitch in if I don't cover it. But contentment, peace of mind, understanding, time with family and friends, freedom from work, freedom from responsibility, a sense of awe and wonder and fun. That was probably the highlights.
Fantastic.
You want to add anything else?
Okay, check it over.
Meaning of life.
Meaning of life. Excellent. Yes.
Similar to that group, and that one we had contentment and time. And then, contentment and time. I don't like the box. And then adding to that was energy and being present. And fantasy or escape.
Escapism. Yeah.
Escapism or fantasy.
Yeah. Great.
Sorry. And health.
Life's tough.
And their health.
Health. Good.
Yeah.
Great.
Oh, me. We didn't write a nice list. So we ended up talking mostly about crowded places like the train, what people are thinking about, and then we sort of came to the thing that even what we're watching and thinking about people, we're putting our own view on it, our own projection, our own thing, and we came down to that really most people want security, safety, and then again that contentment. That's what we came up with. Anyone want to add? And health. Yeah, health is very important.
Good.
So it depends on where you are in your life, what you're really thinking about. If you're a mother, you're really thinking, milk, bread, kids, homework, blah, blah, blah. But if you're 18 and you've got your iPhone, you're thinking, oh, look at that nice dress or whatever it is that they do. Or something.
Yep.
Hey? Oh, do you? Well, you obviously don't have kids, because when you have kids, you can't afford to buy it. So.
Behind you.
All right. You were gone. It's all right, I just let it go. I haven't got my glasses, I can't see. Can you? Okay.
Yeah, we were similar in our conversations, in that a lot of people just don't stop to take the time to think of what is underlying what their superficial wants are. That's close enough, Con. So we've got a bit of a list here. Freedom, peace, time was another one that came up a lot. Acknowledgement, contentment, happiness, health, free from suffering, security, comfort, companionship, joy, love, and connection. Connection. I think that's what it says.
Okay, and chuck it over to this group over here.
Be a good idea to put your head down, Emma.
Woohoo!
Me?
Yep. Sure.
Oh, I just came up with happiness.
Happiness, yep. Hold it up a little bit. What else did your group come up with?
I had comfort, engagement, and play.
Cool.
Then the voucher was the massage or forgetting yourself.
Yeah.
We focused on the voucher. We got stuck into
We
got stuck into the voucher. What is that coming next? The voucher?
The voucher.
What would be on the voucher?
Yeah.
So
what would be
on
the massage would be the answer to those things?
No. Although, that's right.
The voucher would have, would have something that would engage that person, take them out of themselves. So they're not thinking of themselves, but something that an experience they really liked doing.
Can you think of an example of that?
Well, mine would say half day bird watching in the Borneo rainforest, but it would depend on the person. What would yours say?
It'd say that too.
Okay, so Linda's taken care of. Now, when you go home, people will say, "Oh, where have you been the last couple of weeks?" And what was that? Yeah, exactly. So you will probably find yourself engaging in conversation with people, and there are a number of possibilities. One is you'll be terribly excited and you'll babble on about big toes and shoulder blades and pelvic clocks, and you may or may not notice the glazing over of the eyes and the urgent need to go and attend to the children, the homework, the new dress, the whatever it happens to be. There will also be, somewhere in the fairly near future, opportunities for you to invite people to come and practice with you, or eventually to come to your classes or your sessions or whatever. And interestingly, not one of you said the world out there is craving for Feldenkrais.
It's a harsh reality.
Oh, exactly. So this is the next important question, that sometimes it's really easy to kind of feel there's a kind of a chasm between my excitement for what I'm learning and discovering and what's changing my life profoundly, and people out there going about their daily business that have never heard of that F stuff and have no idea why anyone would want to do it or what would make them even continue a conversation. And yet, at lunchtime we were chatting a little bit about one of the sort of fundamental essences of the approach of our work is being able to listen to other people and to make an offering, whether it's with our hands or whether it's with our voice, and then listen some more. Feldenkrais used this word listen in many different ways, and he didn't just mean with our ears. He talks about listening with our hands, or listening with ourselves, in order to be able to get feedback and make another offering that continues the conversation. And so some of those conversations will be in words, and some of them eventually will be with our hands and through our bodies. But it's the same process, whether we're telling people about what we've been doing here, whether we're inviting people to come and engage with us, or whether we're putting our hands on someone and giving them an FI. And so what I'd like you to talk about in your groups now is maybe pick one or two of those things that you think people want, and think about, as Feldenkrais practitioners, what might be a way of talking about our experience or describing the work in a way that actually makes a link between what they really want and what we have to offer. Okay, now in the olden days, and I'll talk about this model another day, but in the olden days you worked out what your profession was, or your trade, or your craft, and you did your things. You made arrows, or you grew apples, or you fixed typewriters, whatever it happens to be, and you put up your little sign on the wall, or you went to the market with your stall and you said, this is what I do. I do apples, or I do arrows or typewriters, and people came and bought it, and that was the end of the business model. If people are not out there saying, I want Feldenkrais, then going to the market with a little sign that says, here's where you get Feldenkrais, is not going to be really effective. So we can stand like that. Okay, and that might be a great way to get people a little bit curious and start the conversation. So where are you going to go from there? How is this going to be useful in terms of starting to connect with these needs and desires that people have? Okay? So we've got the title, Live Like a Cactus, but what comes next?